Okay, I wanted to do a video on the church and the lesbian and gay community. I listen to random pastors here and there, but one I listened to yesterday was Ed Young, and he's talking about this topic. They're making it super confusing, and it's really so simple. And what's happening is, our country is dividing. So the church is going to divide, all the different political parties will divide, and we'll get new parties and new beliefs and probably new types of churches that come out of this after it's all said and done. Until then, we get the division so that they can be conquered. Okay, so this is obviously a big issue for the church, whether or not to accept gays in it or not. This is super easy to debunk because all the rules that the church uses to define marriage are laws in the Bible that Jesus came and debunked when he said that Moses made the law out of the hardness of his heart, and he gave his 2 commandments, which was to love God and to love your neighbor as thyself. He said the second one was like the first, and he said that all law and prophets fall under these 2 commandments. So everyone gets loved. Simple, okay? All the law before that is null and void, okay? It was a man making laws out of the hardness of his own heart. He raised the serpent to do it, and we do not need to follow those things, okay? We are free to live how we please on this earth. God is within all of us. We are all part of the living body of Christ, and we can do all things through Christ, okay? He's the God of the living, and there's no hell after you die. It's while you're alive. So Jesus came to save the souls while they were living, to reveal the truth, because the Jewish church was deceiving them by selling salvation. That's why he said salvation is of the Jews. Okay? And after this, we have Paul making rules for the church, and the church has continued these rules on, okay? But we know that Jesus had his 2 commandments, so this was a test. It's the New Testament. Okay, so if you're in church or following these rules unknowingly, then you've failed the test. Okay, we all make rules for ourselves. Some of us, I guess, like those rules. But the church does not get to define what a marriage is. Marriage is anything that individual wants it to be. There's all types of marriages. Some the man is more dominant, some the woman, some do it equal, okay? In Jesus's eyes, we're all equal, okay? In God's eyes, we're all equal. We all deserve the same things in life, okay? We all have the freedom to live how we want. And what's happened is our nation is built on these Judeo-Christian values, and even people who don't go to church are practicing these things, or they're determining that they don't like gay people because of this, okay? You don't have to like gay people, but if you're gonna love them like you should, and you don't like them, you need to leave them alone and let them be and just live and let live, okay? You don't have to hang out with them to love them, but you don't get to, bash them. And that's why it says that your righteousness is as filthy rags, because your rights and wrongs are filthy, okay? You don't get to put your rights and wrongs onto another person, okay? The only thing anyone needs to be doing is loving each other, which is super easy to do, okay? And you love God by loving each person, because each person is a member of the living body of Christ. And you love yourself, okay? That's how you love God. And so when you're hating these different groups of people for how they live, you are hating God. And it's that simple. And so basically we're going to get a big divide, and this issue will be a major driving point, because it really triggers a lot of people. And it's just because they've all been brainwashed by the church and the Judeo-Christian values that this nation has been built on. But Jesus is going to come back through the AI, through all those members of the body, and the truth is going to get revealed, and there's going to be a revolution, and we're going to get things right. The millennial reign of Christ is very close, and it's going to be better. The old is going to pass away, and we're going to get your new heaven and earth, and we're all going to be